Yeah, so now at this Aero India seminar, I caught up with my friend L N Raghavendra. Now he's the director Propulsions at CEMILAC, and we have done a couple of years back a story on Abhias. Then he was with ADE, now moved to a very critical area in CEMILAC Propulsions. So, but today we are now talking about an area that's related to propulsions. Welcome, Raghav. Basically, engines.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to beat around the bush straight away. I want to just ask you, considering your immense knowledge in that field, why are we lagging behind on engines?
Basically, if you look at the whole infrastructure in the country, there are only very few labs which are working on aero engines. And in DRDO, if you see, there is a lab called GTRE which is working. And close to about 500 people are just there as a human resource working on that. If you see other countries like the US, China, as recently, we hear from newspapers that almost there is something like 10,000 people working. So there is a gap in the human resource which is being working on gas turbine engine development itself. Then further to it, if you see, there is a problem with the technology we have. There is gaps in materials, there are gaps in processing, there are gaps in technology. So these do play a part in this. Third, there is a skill set which is required, and this skill set also is missing. Probably if you can pump in more money, get more human resource skill set, the technology skill set, the skill set itself which is lacking with us. And finally, if you see for the certification, a lot of testing facilities are required, altitude test facilities are required.
Just pause. Right, all right. So, very interesting thing you said, skill set, technology, human resources. You know, so many, close to 3 decades of work on, the Kaveri engine itself. You know, for all platforms we need engine, and we are definitely depending on foreign countries for that. A lot of seminars, lots of thought process, lot of papers, all that is gone. But really what is disappointing, Raghav, is that, is there a lack of national collective on this? What is that we are lacking? Because time has come for us to now call a spade rather, trying to hide our follies and then paint a rosy picture.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anant. We have to call a spade now. And an aircraft without the engine is just a toy. It cannot fly. So today a stage has come for our LCA itself, if you take, that we require an engine. And this engine, as I told you earlier, is just not possible with the resources which we are pumping in. So we need to go for multi-collaborative efforts with various countries. Government has to pump in a lot of money, and this will put us in a new pedestal. And probably we at least will reach to a stage where the world was in 2000s. From that stage we can take on with our own research and go to another level. But today, as I see, we are not even at the 2000 level where we have our own engine. So even to get to that engine, which is 4th generation, I call, we should have a joint collaboration with another country.
So a lot of time we have heard about these on the Indian front, collaborations being talked about with various companies who are leaders in engines, but really nothing has really taken off. So I like always used to think that what if we put in place a national program, or put a new focus on this thing engine, put timelines, and if you do that, is it possible for us to, and also pump in funds, is it possible for
pumping in funds, because we are looking at just 5% of our defense budgets putting into the R&D phase. So this 5% is not enough. If you see worldwide, there is something like 10% which has been put exclusively for the engine development. So Pratt & Whitney, if you take, Honeywell, if you take, GE, if you take, all these companies have pumped in so much of money. So this sort of money is required for aero engine development. So we should appreciate this, accept this, and if you are looking at a developed country with our LCA Mark 1, Mark 1A, Mark 2, AMCA coming, huge programs where you have invested to the order of 1 lakh crores. This is the sort of investment which our country is making today. Without the engine, I think it is a distant dream for us. We are not fighting in the skies. So I feel we should, by making a national team like what you are telling, but my personal feeling is we should go for joint collaboration.
Absolutely, joint collaboration, definitely we need to, because things we are lagging behind, and this joint collaboration perhaps will also
Yes.
have, people, more resources, more funds. Very rarely you will hear somebody within the system being very honest opinion. I think time has come for people like Raghav and many others, who with their expertise, we need to now step on the gas, because look at what has happened with Tejas Mark 1A. There are some delays because of X engines coming late. This will definitely happen with other programs now, with Air Force Mark 2 coming in Namka and many other programs. We need engines, the propulsion systems. We will get to hear from Raghav. And before I let you go, to your area of propulsions in CEMILAC, how critical it has become now with modern technologies coming in, artificial intelligence, all that. How are you folks taking on those challenges? How are you embedding those factors into certification?
Those factors are getting embedded, but I feel we should have facilities for testing the basic engine itself. Those itself are lacking, like altitude test bed facilities, the flight test bed facilities. We don't have now. Even if you develop a core engine, how to test it? Even for that, we are going outside.
So what happened to those proposals to have a flying test bed, all that, what happened?
That has not seen the light of the day as yet.
We are supposed to get a Sukhoi, right? Or some platform here.
Platform, but that modification itself will take a lot of time. So this is where I am telling we should pump funds, and as I agree with you that we should have a national test team for the development. So these are all some things which should happen in the near future. Otherwise, it will be a tough call for us.
Yeah, tough call. As Raghav says, frustration is building up in all this, not among hardcore, passionate guys like us in the media, because we cannot afford our systems, our programs to stall because of want of critical thing, absolute thing, and going and begging in front of others. I think
Absolutely.
we have to. Time has come. We have the wherewithal. We have the the vision. Perhaps we need a leadership or somebody from the top. Chalo karo, that attitude, deadlines. Otherwise, seminars will come and go, presentations will come and go.
Absolutely.
But then the story, as he said, at least we should get into the 2000s. The year of 2000. We are already into. When I say 2000, the year, correct, 2000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, at least from fourth generation, we need to at least catch up that way. Very interesting thought. As I told you, rare are these kind of honest opinions. That's a new DRDO. You heard, Dr. Kaushik, her honest opinion about industry interaction. That's the new shift I'm seeing in people. I would still call Raghav and team the young lot, because they have more services ahead. We'll get back to with more such voices from Aero India seminar.
Thank you. Jai Hind.